7 p.m. on Thursday, September 25th, 2025. We are here this evening to deliberate a number of items on our agenda. This meeting is also available on Zoom. The meeting ID is 870-9273-2845. The passcode is 140864. And the dial by location is 1-929-205-6099. All items within the meeting agenda are subject to deliberation and votes. We will call to order this open session, and we will start with the approval of meeting minutes from September 11th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I have one correction to be made on page 4 of the minutes.
Chris, thank you.
Under 5, application for site plan review, which is what we're going to be talking about later. The third paragraph down, it says, Mr. Farrell confirms that NextGrid will still own the property. MEI will own the array. I think I asked that question, but I don't think I could confirm it or approve it.
Right.
So I think that just needs to be changed. That I asked the question, but Mr. Collins confirmed that NextGrid will own the property, MEI will own the array. Other than that correction, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Chris.
Second.
Dan? So we can change that to Mr. Farrell raised the question and Mr. Collins confirmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And with that correction, again,
We have a motion seconded. Any questions? We will take a vote.
yes?
Chris?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Corinne? Chair votes yes.
Check.
Next up. Application for site plan review, number 509A. This is continued from September 11th, 2025. 0 Ernest Valeri Road. The application is for the development of a large-scale 5-megawatt ground-mounted photovoltaic system with inverter and battery energy storage system, BESS, in the Solar Photovoltaic Overlay District and Scenic Development District. Welcome, Dan.
Hi, thanks for having me. So again, my name is Daniel Serber. I'm the Director of Development with NextGrid. About a month ago, I came to you guys with a site plan review application for a ground-mounted solar facility at Ernest Valeri Road. I outlined that project pretty thoroughly a few weeks ago, so I'm not going to go into the details unless you guys would like me to. I'm just going to go over the few changes we made since our last meeting. We only got a couple comments from you guys that needed to be changed. So the most important change we made is we had a gravel road going throughout the entire property. We have changed to the equipment pads. We've changed that to paved asphalt, which complies with the bylaw that mostly addressing loading areas and parking spaces. But for this case, this is going to be the only area on site that'll have any traffic. It's the only place that we'll have an arc that could potentially cause any kind of fire issue. The rest of the site has no greater of fire risk with the system than without it. So we were happy to add that. We got another comment about screening trees that the LaRusso family had planted some years ago. A layer of pines. They wanted confirmation that that those pines would remain. So those pines go all the way up to the northern property line. Obviously, we are cutting in an access road, and that is the only place where those trees will be removed. Brian Irrigation went out there. He felt because we weren't touching any of them, they didn't need to be specifically surveyed, but he said only about 10 in that area will need to be removed for the road. All the rest of the screening trees are going to remain. Brian has the updated plans he can bring up. These are the plans from a month ago. I wasn't able to get new printed plans, but those are the only two major changes, or changes at all, to the actual plans themselves, is identifying those trees, the approximate location, and then changing the material of the access road. So if you want any details or recap, I'm happy to go over anything you'd like.
Great. Any questions from the board?
There was, did we get the contact information for emergency response there? I think there was some missing data, and the last meeting, I thought you were gonna make sure we got that with the town, so it's
So-
on file.
When we start construction, we'll have an we'll have an operations and maintenance contract that
Right.
involves the emergency access, so we were hoping to deliver that at building permit
Okay, that's
When-
for zero,
for both.
Okay.
Well, the other site, Nathan should, did he not give
We've-
a, well, let's
That's-
keep the sites separate. So this is Ernest Valeri.
okay. yeah.
We're happy for that to be a condition to pull a building permit, to have that, the actual information from our operations and maintenance and.
The only
emergency
issue I
response.
have is that information was supposed to come to us before we approved everything for 665 Scenic Highway, and we don't have that still on file. And so it's kind of hard for me to approve something else when you haven't complied with everything at 665. I mean, I know you fixed the retaining wall, because I went out there today in the rain, and I saw the retaining wall was fixed with some riprap around there. I saw the paved areas, as you indicated. But, you know, some of these other things are kind of important to the town to have emergency contact information and have it available to us, and we don't have it.
So we did provide signage that's, should be placed on site, the phone number of the emergency response, but I can't, if we haven't contracted an emergency response company that sometimes we go with Clean Harbors for any battery emergency, and then we have our operations and maintenance crew. But we do have a few companies we work with, and we don't generally bid out these jobs until they've begun or completed construction. So we,
Isn't 665 pretty much completed?
so that's true, but this is a site plan review for Ernest Valeri, so I can't provide that for this project at the moment.
Well,
Because of the decision of who's going to be the
Yeah, so we have.
contractor?
We have a couple of operations and maintenance companies that have emergency response capabilities, and if I tell you we're gonna go with one and then we go with another one, then what does it matter if I tell you now? So
Did you say you would like to provide that at permit application?
we can provide that at building permit, or, you know, that's
For
where we
Ernest
where we
Valeri,
usually
but-
provide it.
we got 665 that's up and running, and we don't have emergency contact information or response information.
Can't we make it a condition that the staff does not sign off on the building permit until they get that? I think it can be
Well,
responsibility.
we could do that for Ernest Valeri. Nothing
Yeah.
will be issued there until they also give us the information for Scenic Highway. That would be my suggestion, because, again, we all know what happens. We've seen it too many times, so.
I can understand, like, Zero Valeri asking for, before the building permit is issued, and out of respect to the contractor, to ask him for 665, to do it at the same time. I mean, I know it's two separate
Yeah.
developments.
And sorry, you know, Nate told me that was provided, and they have a meeting on site with the fire chief and the company that's testing the fire alarm
Yeah.
that's represented
Right.
part of this, and that meeting's on October 2nd. If that actually hasn't been provided, I was hoping that would be handled 2 weeks ago when he came in to give the update. So I'm sorry, I can't say definitively that
Yeah.
what he told me
Thank
is
you.
what has happened, but.
And I understand Mr. Farrell's frustration, but I think we can condition for Zero Ernest Valeri for the building permit, which you'd agree upon, correct?
I encourage it.
Yeah, so we'd do that, and then out of respect from the October 2nd meeting, on or after that, we'd ask for the other one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it will be
I mean,
provided at that meeting, that's.
Yeah, I just don't want to condition something that's not on the table.
Yeah.
But just ask you out of just professional courtesy that you provide it to us.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah,
Will the building inspector be at that meeting?
well, I know the
On
fire chief
October
will, I'm not
2nd.
sure the buildings inspectors on the invite list, but I know the fire chief will be there to test the fire alarm.
What's outstanding with the town?
That's it. We were hoping it would get done before this meeting, but they couldn't schedule it on site till October 2nd.
Yeah, I don't know what leverage we have left other than professional courtesy. But-
Well, that's my whole issue.
Yeah.
You know, we just got burnt on Williston Road, and
Well,
we're still
gonna have a
going
condition
through
for the
that,
emergency
what, 3 years later?
with
I would just
photo record
hate to see two pretty large projects, and what do we have?
But we have the fire chief going in for the October 2nd meeting, who represents the town, and I think he'd represent it fairly and ask for the information. So,
Right.
And the building inspector still has to sign off on our final permit, or, you know, we can't make money.
I think if we give those two department heads a head up, what we're
Yeah.
looking for, you know,
You got that, Sean?
that's the only leverage. I think that's the only leverage we
Jennifer?
can, you
Yeah.
know,
There is a
grasp
condition that's
onto.
I agree.
In here?
on the first one. So there is a condition on 0 Ernest Valeri about providing that information.
Providing emergency contact and
Yeah.
company information for 665 as well as for,
Just for 0 Ernest Valeri is number 22. We could probably add it to the special permit coming up later on for 65.
Okay, yeah. On the next agenda item.
Is that
Third
this,
agenda.
or is
The
it
third
4?
agenda.
so we're doing 0 Ernest, and it'll be 4?
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, so-
We're on site plan review, right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I just have a question on staff recommendation conditions on number 10. It starts off saying that the financial surety for decommissioning has been estimated at $142,600, and then it says the estimate shall be prepared by a qualified engineer. Who prepared the $142,600?
That was provided to us from the applicant.
So when we say the estimate shall be prepared by a qualified engineer, was that estimate prepared by a qualified engineer?
I'm not sure, we'd have to ask.
I believe that was prepared by Atlantic Design Associates, but it's also a couple years old at this point. So if you want to condition that to be revisited, I
I
think
think
that's
we need it
fair.
updated.
Okay.
Updated, and cost estimate, I'm sure, has changed from then, and then it would be plus the 10% or whatever, so.
So they're putting a 2% yearly inflation for 20 years.
They've got a 2% in there, okay.
Yeah, for 20
Yeah,
years.
inflation, yeah.
From 142 to 211.
I think I was happy with that you clarified on the southeast quadrant, the limit of grading in relation to the property line and those pine trees. I would just like to add a condition that if the limit of grading changes at all, that the planning department should be noticed in advance, just because it's a thin screen. I'd like to make sure that we keep as much of it as possible.
Sure.
Otherwise, I was happy with it.
Doc, what about if they stake it? Because how are they gonna know if it changes how would we know just by looking at it? Seems like if they stake the limit,
Well, it'll be staked no matter what. That's
okay.
how they know what to do. So Brian's company, BSC, will go out there and stake the limit of clearing, and then they'll stake the grading lines, and that'll be by a professional surveyor.
That's acceptable. Just if you're required for whatever reason to want to vary from the established limit of grading, let the planning department know, just because that's a super sensitive, the road is going to be above the existing grade in that quadrant, so that's a sensitive issue.
Okay. Easy enough.
That's all I have.
So how would we settle the dollar figure that you're talking about?
Well, I think before any building permits are issued, that needs to be received and reviewed. I don't.
And
just-
approved by the planning department?
But
Yeah.
Planning board representative?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The planning department and the planning board representative. That just makes sure that
Yeah,
the
I'm used
town
to this.
and the planning board is both satisfied, that's
Yeah.
all.
Of course.
Isn't town council supposed to review it also?
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it should
Sure
be
we're in the
in,
ballpark.
should be in before that next meeting, at least a week before.
so before building permit.
Yeah, so it's usually, well, the way they've been issuing building permits, maybe 30 days.
I don't think we'll be applying for a building permit for this project for about 5 months, I'd say. So
The
this-
next season?
yeah, so we're supposed to probably close construction financing on this project in November, which means probably January, and then we'll probably start in March.
Okay.
I'd assume. So we have
So
a lot of
before-
time to get this redone and give it over to you guys.
So any conditions that we have prior to issuance of a building permit would give you substantial time to be able to complete whatever we're asking?
Plenty of time.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, because we're also making sure that you can construct in a timely manner. I mean, we need the information, but we also understand the construction costs.
Yeah. Just, once these things are approved and we get all our documents, or it actually takes longer than you'd think
Yeah,
to actually break ground, so.
Okay.
We should have plenty of time.
Good, good.
I was thinking about the whole contact, emergency contact. Is that something that's gonna be put on a sign?
Yeah, yeah, so
So if
we
we
also
saw the sign,
changed
that
the
was
signage.
know that they
Yeah.
provided it.
We also changed the signage, added some signage, right, Brian?
28, 29.
I think that includes,
The bond estimate prior to issuance of building permit.
am I thinking of this right? Anyway,
We did discuss it.
I'm
But
just
yes,
wondering if
they-
that sign
Yeah.
should be posted before construction starts.
so generally it's on the fence, and then it's also at the emergency shut-off. So there's an emergency shut-off that just completely shuts off everything. And there's usually emergency contact information and a site map in engraved plastic.
Would you have that available prior to the construction?
Because it's almost like to have, if you could have a temporary sign, just with the information.
Yeah.
And then the fun, because by the time you do all that, the cat's out the bag. So I'm just wondering if you could put a temporary sign up there, the contact, announcing your project, and put the contact on there.
Sure. Yeah, you can condition temporary construction sign to show emergency contact information, and I know the chief wanted the project address pretty prominent,
Yeah.
so we did add that to our signage plan. But we can also add a temporary until the printed plastic signs come in.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? The audience? Back to the board. Dave?
Mr. Chairman, I've reviewed this project, and the applicant, Next Grid Incorporated, proposes development of an existing mature forested area, ground-mounted photovoltaic system with inverters and battery storage located at 0 Ernest Valeri Road, map 16.0, parcel 7, 8, and 9. The project is located in the Scenic Development District and the Solar Overlay District, and is allowable use under section 3470. Mr. Chairman, based on the planning board review of the exhibits, testimony of the applicant, expert witnesses, and the record of the proceedings, the planning board has found that the project is consistent with the Town of Bourne zoning bylaw 1230 site plan review, 2220 use regulation schedule, and 3470 solar photovoltaic system. Therefore, I move to approve the site plan review number 509A in accordance with the following findings, terms, and conditions. Findings: 1, the applicant, Next Grid Incorporated, proposes a new development at 0 Ernest Valeri Road, map 16.0, parcels 7, 8, and 9. The project consists of 3 contiguous parcels which comprise 50-plus acres. All 3 parcels are located in the Scenic Development District, Traffic Management District North, Bourne-Dale Overlay District, Bourne-Dale Development Agreement Overlay District, and the Photovoltaic System Overlay District. This project is an allowable use via site plan review by the planning board. 3, the proposed project will install 11.32 megawatt DC, 4.99 megawatt AC ground-mounted solar photovoltaic array, a 5 megawatt, 31 battery energy storage system, and transformers, electrical cabinets, conduit wires, and other associated equipment. The applicant proposes a stormwater management system including 3 bioretention areas. 5, the proposed project is consistent with the Town of Bourne's local comprehensive plan, energy goal, and policies to assure an uninterrupted supply of electricity, natural gas, and communications to all Bourne residents and businesses despite changes in climate and weather patterns. Promote diversification of electrical sources to reduce reliance on the regional grid, and encourage conservation and sustainable production of energy. Conditions. This plan is subject to 1. This plan is subject to all rules, regulations, and bylaws of the Town of Bourne. 2, the decision of the Planning Board shall be appurtenant to and run with the property which is the subject project site. The decision shall bind and be enforceable against and ensure to the benefit of the applicant, its heirs, successors, and assigns. 3, failure to comply and remain in compliance with all the findings, conditions stated herein, and with all the related Town of Bourne bylaws and regulations shall be deemed cause to revoke or modify this decision. 4, the applicant shall obtain all necessary federal, state, local permits for the proposed project, specifically prior to the issuance of a building permit. Any modification to the approved project plan shall be approved by the Planning Board. All development shall be undertaken and shall be constructed in accordance with the approved plan sets and other information and documents referenced herein. The owner or operator shall maintain the facility in good condition. 8, maintenance shall include but not be limited to painting, structural repairs, and integrity of security measures. 9, before the solar array is constructed, evidence shall be provided to the Planning Board confirming that the utility company that operates the electrical grid where the installation is to be located has been informed of the solar photovoltaic installation owner and operators' intent to install an interconnected customer-owned generator. 10, abandonment or decommissioning. Financial surety for decommissioning has been estimated at $142,600, plus an assumption of 2% yearly inflation for a 20-year projected project life, for a total of $211,879. And we are going to reference the
Dated review.
conditions at the end of this document. The surety shall be provided either through an escrow account, bond, or otherwise in the amount and in a form acceptable to town council, but in no event shall exceed more than 125% of the cost of removal. The amount shall include removal, disposal, and remediation of the landscape, and shall include a mechanism for prorating removal costs as they may be affected by inflation or changes to disposal regulations. The estimate shall be prepared by a qualified engineer. B, once the SPS and BESS have reached the end of their useful life or have been abandoned, it shall be removed. C, the owner or operator shall physically remove the installation no more than 150 days after the date of discontinued operations. D, the owner or operator shall notify the inspector of buildings and town planner by certified mail of the proposed date of discontinued operations and plans for removal. E, decommissioning shall consist of physical removal of all components of the SPS and BESS, including but not limited to structures, equipment, security barriers, transmission lines from the site. Disposal of all solid and hazardous waste in accordance with local, state, and federal waste disposal regulations. Stabilization or revegetation of the site as necessary to minimize erosion. The inspector of buildings may allow the owner or operator to leave landscaping or designated below-grade foundations in order to minimize erosion and disruption to vegetation. 11, coordinating with public officials as to the number and/or lettering of the buildings to assist with 911 emergencies. 12, photovoltaic racks need to be identified with numbers to ensure the ease of disconnection in an emergency. Signage at the property must clearly indicate how to disconnect each section of the site. The photovoltaic rack numbers shall coincide with signage at the property. All solar panel rows and each BESS cabinet shall be labeled with a number. At the entrance to the gated area, supply a well-lit gate map with a designated number for each solar panel row and each BESS cabinet. 14, provide a sign-in and sign-out sheet for any and all that visit the site. This will need to be shared with Bourne Fire, Bourne Police, and Building Department quarterly. Provide the fire inspector, wire inspector, and building inspector with an annual systems test report from either the designated remote site or service on-site techs. 16, a signage plan must be provided to the planning department prior to issuance of a building permit, including street signage, gate signs, and no trespassing signs. Provide no trespassing signs along the gated fence for public safety. 18, installer information, documentation of control of the project site, utility company notification must be supplied when filing for a building permit. 19, a minimum 12-inch street number is required, visible at the entrance to the facility. 20, a Knox vault will be required for the maintenance log, maps, SDS, emergency plans, and other documents. This can be combined with access keys, or a Knox padlock will be required. 21, a BESS permit is required prior to construction. The BESS must meet the requirements in Chapter 52 of the Fire Code and the National Fire Protection 855-20 standard for the installation of stationary energy storage systems. Any proposed changes to the design and installation shall be addressed prior to installation. 22, an emergency response plan is required before obtaining a building permit, understanding that the plan may change and be updated as construction progresses. The plan shall include the numbers and phone numbers of emergency contacts. The applicant shall provide training to all fire department personnel before commissioning. 24, there should be a fire alarm and/or suppression system involved in this installation. A building permit will be required for those systems, including review by this department. 25, stake the limit of the disturbed work area before construction and maintain throughout construction. 26, prior to issuance of emergency systems storage permit, an as-built plan must be submitted to the planning board showing all appurtenances above and below ground. 27, this decision shall be recorded at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds and Land Court Registry, and a copy returned to the planning department prior to the issuance of a building permit. Number 28, update the bond estimate prior to the issuance of the building permit for review by the planning board and by the planning department and a planning board representative. 29, if the limit of grading changes, the planning board must be notified. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
They wanted a temporary construction sign.
Oh, yeah, okay. Number 30, install a temporary construction site sign at the entrance to the project,
Emergency contacts.
and with emergency contacts. Thank you.
Second.
Second, Dan?
We have a discussion, a little bit.
Corinne?
On number 27, because this is site plan review, we have a special permit coming up. I don't think they record site plan
plans,
review
no.
at the registry, so I don't think that's applicable.
Do you want that
Yes.
removed?
Removed.
Yeah, because that would come under the special permit.
So moved.
Yeah, I'll amend my second. To remove that.
Removed and renumbered.
Yep.
Any further questions or comment from the board?
It's gonna be roll call.
Amanda?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Corinne?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Who seconded it?
Unanimous?
Okay,
Next up
next up.
is application for a special permit, number 15-2025, 0 Ernest Valery Road, under section 3332 for alternative surfacing gravel of the internal access road and the road around the perimeter of a proposed ground-mounted solar photovoltaic system. Gravel access road is proposed to connect to a paved apron off of Ernest Valery Road. The parcel is located in the Scenic Development District. Are there any,
Is there anything to say about this?
I know.
Or should I just
think we've
leap
been through
right
it, yeah.
in? Yes.
I've looked at the detail, and it appears adequate, 12 inches of crushed stone over geotextile fabric and compacted ordinary borrow, and an armored swale slope with modified rock fill. It looks acceptable.
And we
for
did
a,
add the paving through the equipment pads, which, reading the bylaw that's referenced, it's questionable if it's even needed to get a special permit after we did that. So I think on this project, it's a lot simpler than the next one. Because all the equipment pads are right off the street, and we paved just past those, so.
Okay. Well, I will then jump in and make the motion. Mr. Chairman, I've reviewed this project, and the applicant, Daniel Serber, proposes the construction of a gravel road to serve a ground-mounted solar energy facility located at 0 Ernest Valeri Road, map 16.
Aren't we on to the next one?
No.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Parcel 7, 8, and 9. Mr. Chairman, based on the planning board's review of the exhibits, testimony of the applicant, experts, witnesses, and the record of the proceedings, the planning board has found that the project is consistent with the Town of Bourne zoning bylaw, Section 1331, special permit criteria, and Section 3332, alternative to bituminous concrete. Special permit number 15-2025 meets the criteria for a special permit of the following. A, pedestrian vehicular flow and safety has been met. B, the utilities and other public services are adequate. C, impacted areas to the natural environment will be revegetated. D, impact upon nearby developed premises is minimized, and commercial abutters may experience minor impacts such as noise during construction. E, the proposed building is visually compatible with the surroundings. F, the project is not located within a water resource district. G, there is no impact upon the town's needs for year-round housing. Therefore, I move to approve site plan special permit number 15-2025 in accordance with the following findings, terms, and conditions. Conditions. 1, this plan is subject to all rules, regulations, and bylaws of the Town of Bourne. 2, defer to the fire department for adequacy of emergency access. 3, any erosion must be fixed and/or prevented immediately upon discovery. 4, plowing of snow must be done after all storms to provide emergency access to the site. 5, the decision shall be recorded at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds / Land Court Registry, and a copy returned to the Planning Department prior to the issuance of a building permit. So moved.
do we have a second?
Second.
Dan? Any discussion? Mr. Serber, this is a special permit which would require 6 votes. We have 6 members here tonight. If you're comfortable moving forward, we can
Yeah.
go ahead and vote. Amanda?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
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 Liz?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Corinne? Chair votes yes. 6 unanimous.
All right,
Now we're on to the next one.
now we're on to the next one.
Next up, the application for special permit, number 14-2025, 665 Scenic Highway. Under section 3332 for alternative surfacing, gravel for the internal access road and the road around the perimeter of the existing ground-mounted solar photovoltaic system. Gravel access road is to connect to a paved apron off of Scenic Highway. The parcel is located in the Scenic Development District.
I was out there today, and we had a little bit of rain. Yeah, it looked good. It looked
Today was a good day to go out and
Yeah,
test that,
well,
Chris, it really was.
I dodged some raindrops, but, no, I did see, both the gravel road looked in good shape. The retaining wall was put up. There's riprap above the retaining wall, so that should prevent any more washouts like we saw a while back, so.
It was 3.5 inches. That's
Yeah.
an
It
acid
was,
test.
it was intense. I
Yeah.
was driving in the
I'd
middle
love to
of
see
it.
Wildwood Lane.
Yeah.
And Lake Tom Ave was back in session. It was about 3.5 feet down there, so.
Wow.
Any other comments?
Under, excuse me, under this, the 665 here, with the request that, for the emergency contact, whether we'd like to make this, because we can condition it on this one.
I think
I
so.
just,
Yeah.
I will say that the last condition list reminded me that we did provide the chief with an emergency response plan that does have the contact information. So that's been provided to the chief and the building commissioner.
okay.
So I know that that was in that package. So I said before I couldn't confirm
Yeah.
that we delivered it, but upon memory of that condition, emergency response plan, we did provide that.
Okay,
Just
good.
some, okay,
Excellent.
so good.
Yep.
We're good.
Even better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Okay, we're good.
Thank you, Dan.
But thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
No other questions?
No other questions?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I reviewed this project, and the applicant NextGrid / Daniel Serber proposes the construction of gravel road to service permitted grounded-mounted solar energy facility located 665 Scenic Highway, map 10.0, parcel 10. Mr. Chairman, based on the planning board's review of the exhibits, testimony of the applicant, expert witnesses, and the record of the proceedings, the planning board has found that the project is consistent with the town of Bourne zoning bylaw 1331, special permit criteria, and 3332, alternative to bituminous concrete. Special permit 14-2025 meets the criteria. Special permit the following: pedestrian, vehicular flow, and safety has been met. The utilities and other public services are adequate. Impacted areas to the natural environment will be revegetated. Impact upon nearby developed premises is minimized, and commercial abutters may experience minor impacts such as noise during construction. The proposed building is visible, compatible with the surroundings. The project is not located within a water resource district. There is no impact upon the town's need for year-round housing. Therefore, I move to approve site plan special permit number 14 of 2025 in accordance with the following findings, terms, and conditions. Condition number 1, the plan is subject to all rules, regulations, and bylaws of the town of Bourne. 2, defer to the fire department for adequacy of emergency access. 3, any erosion must be fixed and/or prevented immediately upon discovery. Plowing of snow must be done after all storms to provide emergency access to the site. This decision shall be recorded in the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds, Land Court Registry, and a copy returned to the planning board prior to issuance of any building permits.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Dan, second. Any further questions, deliberation? Dan?
Just want to confirm, that was approved site plan special permit 14-2025.
Right,
correct?
right,
I
yeah.
just want to make sure.
Yeah,
Got that?
Yeah.
Good.
it was corrected, and I did read it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure.
Great. Okay, we'll, ready to move forward with the vote?
I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable?
thanks.
Great.
Yep.
Amanda?
Yes.
Yes,
Liz?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Corinne?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. 6, you're all set.
Mr. Chairman,
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
to adjourn.
Second.
Can I just bring something up real
Okay.
quick? Just for, as far as process, okay? 'Cause when I'm reading the decisions, and I think the planning department does a great job, it's no criticism, but I don't think I think maybe if we could add a note to incorporate the zoning bylaw, because sometimes we're repeating what the bylaw says, and these decisions are getting longer and
Yeah.
longer. So I think if we say, because we already say must comply to the all bylaws, maybe if we specifically say to this section, and then in addition, any special conditions.
Okay.
Because it seems like
Right.
we're repeating some of this stuff, and, it's nice to have it in one document, but I think if we put section 3400 under bylaw dated such and such, that if we have to go back and look at it, at least we'll have the information instead of, it's almost like we're rewriting the bylaw sometimes. And they're just a suggestion, you know, to do
I
that.
think that's a great suggestion.
Aye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good luck.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Jen wanted me to ask everybody to reply to her email about, town
The
council.
hotel, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did that this afternoon.
Okay, cool.
Have the emails come out late or early this afternoon?
Yep.
You'll see it.
Great job, team.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
did
you.
good.
All right.
Did she send
Oh, yeah, that was
Under 45 minutes.